a contest going. This girl got a tip, 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 little red dot. You got a tip today. No girl wants to think somebody else cleans better than her. Oh no, you got it all going. Oh, Maria, but also it's a clue to the manager. Hello, why is this girl not getting tips? Maybe she needs help.
Yeah.
I think it will work very well. I think it's a great idea. Not many people travel with dollars anymore.
Right. I am joined by Rebecca Danigelis, longtime hotel housekeeper, like 50 years, right?
That's right.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well today. Thank you.
Thank you for joining me. Part of the critically acclaimed duty-free documentary, which I just explained to Rebecca, I haven't seen yet. I'm a terrible host.
Right.
But looking forward to it. Also, ageism activist, which I love, and I know my wife will love it. You've been working with AARP, World Health Organization, National Council on Aging, South Arts American Society, on and on and on and on. It's fantastic. Quickly, why don't you just tell us your story so that we get a context?
Okay, I started out life as a French translator for the British government, came to America to present British tourism, met my ex-husband, divorced my ex-husband. That's what started my career in England in restaurant, basically. Dunkin' Donuts early in the morning, then a split shift at Stouffer. So in those days, just made frozen foods. Didn't make frozen foods, had family restaurants, worked a split shift there. And that's when I learned all about tipping and how to get them. Moved on, went to undercover boss kind of people came into the restaurant one day, said, you've done this, you've done that, want to work for a hotel, want to treat your housekeeping. And from there on, I worked in hotels and other hotels.
Fantastic. 50 years. That's a long time to be doing housekeeping.
Yes. You learn a lot from the people who work for you and with you, not by standing in your office, making things out, being on the floor, being with the people.
Right. Well, what are your thoughts on the hotel labor shortage these days?
Well, I think there's a new term now called skimp-flation. When hotels are skipping, operators, managers are skimping on the services they're offering guests. Hence, room attendants and housemen are getting tired of being called in for 3 days a week only to do checkouts and really very, very heavy work. And they're not making any money because it's daunting and people are not happy when they check into rooms because they're not up to the standard. They're not getting their breakfast. And I think people don't want to do their job. It took 3-4 days a week. They don't know when they're going to work. They can't get daycare organized. I think it's in a very tough situation for hotel operators and employees.
Yeah, the ones I talk to, flexibility is a huge part of the new equation. Of course, higher hourly wages, training and development. And I think, and I've talked with others about, and you alluded to it, managers, really training the managers, treating people well, cultivating that culture of caring, which is not always there.
Well, the thing is, in my whole 50 years, I've never had a lady come to me. I mean, I've had the lowest turnover rate, I guess, in Boston at one point for hotels. But when I say, why do you want this job? Oh, well, my kid goes to school at this time. It suits me. I've never had anybody say, I love to clean. I don't know anybody who loves to clean. I don't know I don't love to clean. I like to see it clean.
Yeah.
And make sure my house, it has to be always just so, I have to straighten the dog's tail, somebody knocks on the dog because I'm judged on how clean it is. As our hotel managers, how clean is your hotel? But now many of them have had a taste of what it is to have to do the job themselves. They're understanding. Yeah. Don't shortchange your housekeepers. Get back into not skimping. Skimp on something else.
Were there times in your career that you were dependent on tips?
Absolutely. after my divorce, 1973, I think it was, 1972, yes. I had to take a job. Stoke was off the door looking for a well-mannered, cordial-mannered, well-appearing person to be dining room manager. I applied. Well, it was a split shift. So I thought, no, what can I do before I start at 10? I went to Dunkin' Donuts. I used to work there first. And let me just tell you, I soon learned that I knew those lorries that were coming in. Sure, I'd give the coffee, but I knew this guy. I knew this has a honey donut, and I'd have it ready on the counter. Okay, Mr. Mixer, your honey donut. Yeah, that's it. Oh, my God. Ding. I learned tips. I did everything right. Extra sugar, I know you have it. Let me give you one to go. And then I worked on in the restaurant. Girls wanted to leave early. I was a dining room manager. And they, no problem, you can go, but let's make work fun. You can go early, but you have to have all the sugars, everything ready for tomorrow. Let's change your stations, red, blue, green, yellow. You have an assignment for what you can do. Everything was ready for the next morning. Theater nearby, everybody was leaving at 6 o'clock. We were in the mall. Why they were going to the movie? Me set up a dinner theater deal. Let the girls make more money. Keep them busy.
Yeah.
I got the tip. Oh, you got me out in time for the movie. Thank you, dear. Tips. Yes, it's working.
Are you familiar with cashless tipping? Have you run into cashless tipping?
Well, only in my later years, because in England we have service charges. If you go to a restaurant or what, it's added in. But for example, now I notice when I go to pay my charge at the coffee or the restaurant, you fill it in on the machine. But I understand how it works, and I think it could be a great team building thing if people applied it in the right way. Don't give the girls the tips the same day. Make it build up on a quarterly basis. So they're going to be there for at least 3 months because they're waiting for that tip payout on the third quarter at the end of every quarter, and have a contest going. This girl got a tip, little red dot. You got a tip today. No girl wants to think somebody else cleans better than her. Oh no, you got it all going. Oh, Maria, but also it's a clue to the manager. Hello, why is this girl not getting tips? Maybe she needs help.
Yeah.
I think it will work very well. I think it's a great idea. Not many people travel with dollars anymore.
Right.
Yeah. It can work well, I think.
Yeah, we actually have a client that does that weekly.
Really?
Their weekly meeting, they'll who got the biggest tip,
yes.
who got the most tips, and
yes.
it's kind of a fun time, he said.
I think that's it. It gets the ladies involved. And you're going to buy a vacuum cleaner. Let the girls try the vacuum cleaner. Don't stimp. Get the one the girls want to use. They're doing the job. Nobody wants to hawk around, oh, you got this thing because it's on sale and I'm giving you a good deal. So you got this clunking old thing. No. On your beds, don't be buying the heavy mattress. Get a mattress topper, tuck your sheets underneath so you don't have to lift in a heavy bed. There's so many things you can do. Listen to the people doing the job. For cashless tipping, I'm all for it. I think it's great.
So, well, tell us about some of your ageism activists.
Okay.
Activities.
So, as many people listening probably do not know, because I don't know who I am, but when I was 75, after having put a system into the building where I worked and having worked there for 10 years and having lived in the building for 37, I was called to the office and said, Rebecca, dear, today's your last day. We love you dearly, but we're restructuring. No warning, I've never been absent, never been late, living in the building, whatever. So anyway, so I'm applying for a job. So I'm going online and it says, date last finished, date graduated from high school. Yeah. Here's an example. And you scroll down and it stops at 1979. Hello, at age 11, I was in college. Okay. So you're thinking, oh, not to worry, they made a mistake. It's in my resume. They knew who I am. Application discarded, incomplete. So now, with the help of Senator Garcia of Texas, we have passed the POJCA Act, Protector of Older Americans in the Job Application Process. They cannot ask you that question anymore because people are discriminated against before they get old. So that's out of the thing. Now I'm working on the last page of a handbook. You get that handbook and it says, oh, welcome to XYZ. You're going to get this, vacation, sick days. No, last page, it says, this is what will happen on your last day of work. No, not. If you quit, you get your vacation pay. That's it. B, you're fired, you get your vacation pay, no collect. see me restructuring, you will receive 60 days notice of such restructuring. You will have help from human resources on finding another position. You know, you will get a good reference. That's what I want to see. That's what I'm working on now.
So what else is happening? Like what do the next couple of months look like for you?
The next couple of months are, well, my son's just become on the board of National Council of Aging. He's a filmmaker. And so I'm working on presentations in schools. We do that. I do Zoom calls and kids ask questions. I mean, as simple as how do you do your hair to I have a grandmother work and she found a job. I mean, but it's very, you know, I think the people who are discriminating against old people will one day sabotaging themselves, because one day they'll be old, and unless we change things now,
yeah,
they're going to be in the same position. You come to America with the American dream. Okay for me. I am educated. I have a son who took me and really saved my life, shall we say. What about the people who work for me, with me, the immigrants, those that don't speak English? They take the job because they clean very well, they got skills in the country. We need to work towards a future of what will happen in taking care of the old people. And managers can do a lot towards that. You've got an employee, see what the skills are. Oh, what did you do in your own country? Oh, I was an accountant. I mean, I've had a houseman go from an accountant to a controller. I've had a room attendant go from being a seamstress at home to doing all the sewing in the hotel area. You know, you can build people up.
Right. Yeah. Show them a career path. Sure.
That's it.
So did your son do the movie? Did your son film the Duty Free movie?
We started out, he was filming me. I didn't know. He was filming me. That's how you'll see me with no makeup on, in my nightgown, using the S word. With the camera, the whole thing. I mean, he knew before I did. Then suddenly when he got bigger, he told me to make out a list of the things I want to do or couldn't do. And I was thinking of things would tell me. I'd say, hello, Mrs. Jones, nice to have you back again. Why are you here? Oh, we're going to go milk cows in Vermont, or not Vermont particularly. We're going to go milk cows, or I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the Boston Marathon people. I see them come every year. I saw them coming and smiling when they were leaving. And they come from there. I said, I got to find out why they keep coming back every year to look like coming in. So I did the marathon. So I took my list. He said, I want to film everything, even jumping from an airplane. Not recommended. But I did skydiving. But just to experience what life people have outside of hotels. I lived in the hotel, 3 a.m. Oh, gee, they're here. They left the luggage here 5 weeks ago. Can you help find it? Or there's a drunk in the lobby, or somebody's locked out, you know, and my whole life was hotel. I wanted to experience what people did when they weren't working in hotels.
Well, I'm going to check that out this weekend. What else do we need to talk about? Is there anything else that we didn't touch on?
I think that it's time. I mean, the people I've hired, I still talk to, from the old Copley Plaza, from the 80s to everything. I know, support these immigrant babies and try and look at the future for them. You have your own future, you plan your own career path. You are responsible for a group of people who need help. If I needed help, they need help.
Yeah, that's good.
Build a great hotel. Bill Marriott did that. He didn't have a computer. He didn't just shut people off. He'd go in the lobby and say, hello, Alex, weren't you here like 2 years ago in August? Are you bringing that group back? Talk to people. It's not all, I mean, digital tipping is great, but people are not digital. People are human. Talk to them. I wish somebody talked to me before that fateful afternoon when they said, sorry, dear, today's your last day.
Yeah. Well, Rebecca, I want to thank you for joining me.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it was a treat.
Oh, thank you. The treat was mine, and I appreciate your inviting me.
You bet.